Where are we today, Teen?
We're at home.
We certainly are. We're still in lockdown, self-isolation, all that good stuff.
But we are enjoying it.
So, this is a milestone video for us. We've had some little milestones along the way with our YouTube account. And so, what is this milestone for us today, Teen?
This is our 100th video, so we're very excited.
We are. It seemed as though we would never get past doing half a dozen videos, really, to be honest with you. But yeah, this is our 100th video. So we wanted to talk about something dear to our hearts, and that's obviously retirement. We've had some comments from some viewers asking us about how we downsized, and we thought that would be a great theme for a retirement video.
Yes, because we've had people kind of ask how we managed to get to where we are and how we did it. So we thought we'd share our story.
So there's lots of videos we could do about the different stages of retirement, but the big one for us was all to do with our house and getting to the frame of mind of selling it. So this is our retirement planning ideas. We're not saying that you should do this.
It's not going to work for everybody.
No, it isn't.
But if you're coming up to retirement, it might give you ideas that might possibly work for you.
So if you're a homeowner and you have gone mortgage free, so you've done a good job, you've paid your house off, retirement's looming on the horizon, then one of the first decisions to think about is, can you afford to retire?
Especially when you hear all the stories that you need millions of dollars, don't you?
You do. So if you don't have $1 million retirement fund, how do you retire? So one of the things we thought long and hard about was our house. We'd been in the house for 19 years, and we possibly are a little unusual, but we always felt it was our retirement fund. So we found selling the house relatively easy to do. We weren't emotionally invested into it.
Well, yeah, that's something you kind of have to remove yourself from, isn't it? Because although we were mortgage free, we were not free to own the house. There was still a lot of costs that went on with owning the house, wasn't there?
That's a great point, Tina, because you get to that point of mortgage free, you can burn the mortgage document, which we did, and had a little party. But we had this inkling that it was expensive to live in our mortgage-free house. And so one day, Tina and I sat down at our kitchen table, took out paper and pencil, and we started adding up how much it cost to live in our house.
And we were actually really surprised, weren't we, at how much it did cost?
We did. So we listed out the electricity, the heating,
property taxes.
That was a big one as well. And so we added all that up, and at the same time, we also had an idea that it might be a smarter idea to move to a lower cost town to retire to. We started doing some homework. One of the classic ones was Tina's hairdresser. So we lived near a big city, capital city in Canada, and Tina's hairdresser, which she loved going to him. He did a really great job with her hair.
But it was really expensive, wasn't it?
And we didn't realize how expensive it was.
To actually go and have a cut and highlights, I think, was getting on for about $300.
And then we moved to a small town, and to get the same haircut, and the guy is a really great stylist.
Yes, he's fantastic. But I can get the whole thing, the cut and the highlights, done for $100. And if I go just for a cut, it's 40, which is fantastic.
So this is what we're finding is a lower cost area, and it's not that it's a bad town. It's a great town. It's just a smaller town, and hasn't been hyped the same way as larger cities.
No, we just found that things are more economical, aren't they?
They are. So are you attached to your house emotionally, or can you see yourself selling it? Can you see yourself moving to a lower cost area of your state, province, or country? And then when we were researching coming to this town, we looked at apartments, and we always thought renting an apartment was just throwing your money away.
Yeah, we thought, wow, yeah, those people don't want to own their house, they just throw the rent away. And that was a very wrong perception we had of renting, wasn't it?
And also, we maybe thought that just general apartments, not the sort of New York condos or what have you, were awful places to live, which we just had no idea. So we toured some apartments in our...
Firstly, where we lived.
Yeah. And they turned out to be around $2,000 for rent.
Plus hydro and everything, so sort of a package of like $2,500, weren't they?
And then the town that we decided upon, we toured some apartments here. And firstly, the apartments were bigger.
Yeah. Oh, wow, yes. I mean, just like a detached house, but we're in an apartment.
So the square footage of this apartment is 1,347 square feet. The house that we left was just a few feet under 2,000 square feet. So we have a 2-bedroom apartment, and this is costing $1,400 all in. Mm-hmm. That's including underground parking, all the electricity, all the utilities, and it includes laundry, all the appliances, and they're just a very well furnished building.
Plus we also have a very large outside balcony, which is great because it gives you outdoor living.
It does.
Which is just like having your own garden space, but...
And obviously the indoor swimming pool, which Tina is totally in love with. She
it's
uses
a huge
that.
Plus, and we do have an exercise room as well. And
so let's come back to the house idea and try and finish that off. So we decided to sell our house, and when we added up all those standing costs of utilities and property tax and stuff like that, we were only $100 short of what rent would be. Then you take your capital out of the sale of the house, and invest it.
So you get interest on the money that's there because it's earning interest every month.
And the interest is more than enough to pay for the rent.
So we kind of thought we should do this. Why not?
Because the other thing that we realized is the liabilities, the unexpected liabilities in retirement of home ownership. Mm-hmm. So for instance, we had a house with a basement and it had a sump. What happens if the sump pump goes or the water pressure gauge goes?
And then there's all the regulars, isn't there? Like air conditioning units, new windows, new deck, everything that only lasts so many years, then you have to replace.
So we replaced the roof, the garage doors, the windows.
Yeah, and then we decided to move.
And then we didn't even take into account how much does it cost to cut your grass. We had a couple of acres, and so we had to have a lawnmower, which would last you about 10 or 12 years, and that was a little ride-on tractor.
But I think one of the other things that was really important to us was we always had to when we were traveling, we always had to get somebody to come and look at the house. And now we're in an apartment, you can just turn the key and go. It's a totally different feeling, and for us it's worked fantastically. And for all the people that are kind of asking us and getting a little nervous about should we do it or we're getting cold feet, is just do it, because it really gives you a lot of freedom, doesn't it?
It's just a mindset
Yeah.
to get into, that retirement is going to be different than working. You're going to lose your identity that you have from your job, because most people will say, what do you do for a living? Well,
As soon as you
you have that identity. When you retire, you don't. You're retired. Same with the house. It's the house almost gives you an identity, and you have to get used to not being a homeowner and not seeing that as a negative.
But another plus too is the social aspect, is that we have met some wonderful new friends since we've been here. And we've started a whole new life of friendships.
But the one thing that we did witness, Tina, was both of our parents. They had what we would probably call social isolation, because they kept their houses.
Yeah.
And they managed to end their days in their house. They didn't go into a retirement home or anything. They were fortunate that they could still live right up until they passed away. But they didn't. They could go days without seeing people, and
I think they really missed out, because
whereas we can go
up and down the elevator.
We have to use an elevator in the apartment building, but you just meet other people. You have a spontaneous chat. You pass the time of day, and it just makes life
more fun and more interesting.
It really does.
Yeah.
So we were able to retire 5 years before the official retirement age in Canada, and that was partly due to getting rid of the liability of the house. No more trips to Home Depot for repairs. And
you used to live there, didn't you? There, all Canadian Tire.
that's right. And after about a year in the apartment, we suddenly realized I haven't been to Home Depot in a year.
It's a good feeling. And
It really is.
And it's enabled us to do lots and lots of traveling. We've only been doing the YouTube for a year, but prior to that, we've traveled a lot since we moved in here, haven't we? We just haven't YouTubed it.
Right.
So we have been very fortunate, which is great, because as you know, nobody's traveling anywhere at the minute.
No, so we've had 5 good years of traveling, almost full time. And now we're in this situation where we're on hold waiting for vaccine or for the world to try and cope with COVID-19. So we would urge you, take a hard look at your finances, think about the liability of home ownership and the unexpected costs that crop up.
And try and take, if you can, the emotion away. You know, everybody thinks that all the kids and the grandkids are going to come back, and that is fine. They do to a point, but then they all are running and living their own life. So you shouldn't be holding on to this big house thinking everybody's going to be coming back, because you can visit. You can live in different ways.
You can indeed.
So once you look after what's best for you, then other doors start opening, don't they?
So we decided to take the money and run from the house.
Yeah.
And it's been one of the best decisions, other than retiring early, that we've made.
It's been great.
So that was our little story about downsizing. And of course, you have to get rid of all the big furniture from the house because it doesn't fit. But basically, it's a freeing experience, getting rid of stuff, as I call it, that you don't really need, that you're just hoarding.
We had plenty of stuff.
So make retirement a point in your life to reinvent yourselves.
To make changes.
And to live for yourself, not for the banks, not for the mortgage companies, not for the Home Depots or Canadian Tires. So next time you go to Canadian Tire, buy stuff that you want, not screws and bolts.
Yeah, look for just other things to enjoy.
Anyway, that's our story, and it was our 100th video. It was also our 45th wedding anniversary as well.
Yes.
And
And we hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend.
we do. And we're in the middle of a heat wave.
It's really hot.
We're making this movie the first week of July. It's 32 degrees outside, which is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And we have a solid week of this weather ahead of us. So
We're really glad we have air conditioning.
it is, and we're enjoying the summer weather because you know what? It's gonna It's gonna snow.
Yeah. Well, not
Soon.
too, about 6 months away, Norm, but
Anyway, thanks for watching, and as usual, stay safe.
yes.
Keep your
And
social
I
distancing.
hope everybody's keeping well, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.